the foreign scene, Armenia's acting Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has won a convincing victory in Sunday's snap parliamentary election, consolidating his authority. His bloc won more than 70% of the votes, the country's elections commission said. A journalist turned politician, Mr. Pashinyan spearheaded a peaceful revolution in April. He now has a parliamentary majority to push through his program of tackling corruption and reforming the economy. The poll turnout was low at about 49%. Historically, Armenia's elections have been marred by fraud and vote buying, but observers said there was hope that this one would be different. International observers from the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe were amongst those monitoring the process. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern fought back tears on Monday in Wellington as she apologized on behalf of New Zealand to the family of Grace Milan for their daughter's murder. Ardern told reporters that the New Zealanders she had spoken to felt an overwhelming sense of hurt and shame that this crime happened in New Zealand. A 26-year-old man was charged with a murder after his first appearance in Auckland District Court earlier in the day. Grace Milan, who was traveling the world after finishing university, went missing on the 1st of December in Auckland. On Saturday, police said she was murdered and that they were questioning a man about the case who was subsequently charged with her murder.
Firstly, I cannot imagine the grief of her family and what they will be experiencing and feeling right now. And my thoughts and prayers are with her father, David, who is in the country, her mother, Gillian, who cannot be here, and her wider family, friends, and loved ones. You know, from the Kiwis I have spoken to, there is this overwhelming sense of hurt and shame that this has happened in our country, a place that prides itself on our hospitality, on our manaakitanga, especially to those who are visiting our shores. And so, on behalf of New Zealand, I want to apologise to Grace's family. Your daughter should have been safe here, and she wasn't, and I'm sorry for that. I've advised the family through the police that if there is anything we can do to assist, we are here to help with that.
2 more people were pulled out alive from the debris of a landslide in southwest China's Sichuan province early on Monday morning, some 13 hours after the incident occurred. After many hours of effort, rescuers dug out the 2 survivors from the rubble at about 6 o'clock on Monday. The landslide hit about 1700 hours in the Feng Shui township of Suzhou County, toppling 3 houses and burying an estimated 12 people. So far, 10 people have been found under the rubble. 3 of them died en route to the hospital, while the other 7 are undergoing treatment. More than 600 rescuers are racing against the clock to find a child who remains buried, while there's uncertainty over whether another missing person was at home when the landslide happened. Britain's Parliament will, over the course of a series of votes on Tuesday evening, decide whether to approve or reject Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal, a decision which will define Britain's departure from the European Union and could determine her own future as leader. Prime Minister May has been trying to win over critics of an agreement that would keep close economic ties with the European Union when Britain leaves in March, but her warnings that it's her deal or no Brexit have fallen flat so far. The odds look stacked against Prime Minister May winning parliamentary approval for a deal, which has come under fire from all sides, including Eurosceptics. Supporters of the EU and the Northern Irish Democratic Union Party propping up a minority Conservative government. A defeat could open up a series of different outcomes to Britain's departure from the European Union, the country's biggest shift in trade and foreign policy for more than 40 years, ranging from leaving without a deal to holding a second referendum on membership. The United States wants to continue to support the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen's war and will remain engaged in efforts to combat Iranian influence and Islamist militancy in the Arab state, a statement by the Department of State said on Sunday. The Senate last month voted to advance a resolution to end U.S. military support, which includes arms sales and intelligence sharing for the Western-backed Sunni Muslim coalition that intervened in 2015 against the Iranian-aligned Houthis to restore the internationally recognized government. Timothy Ledon King, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Arabian Gulf Affairs, said, and I quote, "There are pressures in our system to either withdraw from the conflict or discontinue our support of the coalition, which are strongly opposed to on the administration side. We do believe that the support for coalition is necessary. It sends a wrong message if we discontinue our support," he told a security forum in the United Arab Emirates.